I am aboard a Silent 60 and we're going to take you guys out and show you what this is all about. Now the interesting thing about the start of this video is normally I'd hear the engine start up and think, okay, we're off. Nothing. I just noticed the guys were letting the lines off and I heard some of the thrusters running, and that's it. It is absolutely, well, as the name suggests, silent. We've got a load of people on board, we've got somebody at the helm, and we're leaving the dock very, very, very quietly. There we go, you can see the thrust from the propeller there, but you can't hear anything. Let's sit down here. Okay, we are in what must be the noisiest part of the boat now. They don't call them silent yachts for nothing, do they? Look at that! That's insane! As I say, I stood there chatting to somebody before we started filming, and then noticed the lines were being let go, and that was my first clue. So yeah, we're off. Let's go and have a wander around.
Okay.
We are in Port Adriano. There are some serious machines in here. It's a proper super yacht destination. There we go, we're right up on the bow now. Now the interesting thing with these is because they are twin engines and the engines are in each hull, they're not engines, are they? They're motors. I get told off for calling them engines. They're not, they're electric motors. But because they're so widely spaced, if you've got this engine on this side going in astern and this engine going forward, the boat will just pivot pretty much on the spot, and that's exactly what it's doing now. We're not actually moving forward at all. If I show you down here, you can see we've got almost zero bow wake. And if we look back there, you can see how it's turning. But that is low drama stuff, isn't it? Look at this place. It's insane. The other news with this boat, of course, is there's so much space on it. I don't know how many people we've got on here, but it's a fair old few, and there's so much room for everybody.
It's always funny hearing cruising.
Let's go up on the flybridge. We're off. Well, noise is increased down. We are now just above the engine. Did it again. Now just above the motor, and the noise has increased to a very, very faint hum. It's as noisy as it gets. The motor is right on the other side of these steps, just down there. So this is the noisiest part of the boat. But the noise of the motor is far outweighed by the noise of the water burbling past the back of the hull. Mad, isn't it? And moving away from here, you come up onto the aft deck, and even that faint hum is gone. Some serious engineering going on over there. Wow. Okay, so let's give you a little bit of maths and science. So we're cruising now at about 6.5 knots speed over ground, and you can see, in fact, this is the camera pointing back at the bathing platform, so this is the wake streaming off of the two hulls. But where it gets interesting is over here, because if we look at this, you can see we're using 7 kilowatts an hour on each engine, so that's 14. It's actually showing 15 here, and the reason for that is because, of course, there are what they call hotel loads, so lights, fridges, all that kind of stuff is all running as well. So we're using 15 kilowatts an hour. We've got 210 in total. In fact, we're down a bit on there. We're 90 at the minute because obviously the batteries aren't up to 100%. So we've got kind of 12 hours of running like this, and that's assuming that we've got no solar charge, which I don't think we have at the minute because there's no sun. So even just on the batteries, you've got, you know, 10-12 hours of range running at this sort of speed and under this sort of load, and, you know, mix in a bit of sunshine, and of course you put in the power back into the batteries, all this big solar array. It's an impressive demonstration of what these things can do. I mean, it's very, very efficient. Let's go back and listen to that engine roar again.
If I did this,
You see, now I'll tell you what I think is most interesting about all of this is the fact that you think about a solar powered boat, which is effectively what this is, and you think, well, that's great as long as the sun's shining, not much use otherwise. Well, actually that thinking is completely wrong. I'll tell you how I would use this. I'd use it at night. Now that might seem weird, but hear me out on this. Just imagine, okay, we are in Port Adriano at the minute. I think it's something like 60 miles across to Ibiza. So imagine you set sail this sort of speed, early evening, had a bit of dinner, and everyone went to bed, and your skipper's at the helm, takes it across at this kind of speed. You've got on those batteries easy 10, 11, 12 hours running. So 10 hours, 60 miles, no problem. It's all done on the batteries. You get there, you anchor in a bay, everyone gets up for breakfast, the sun's beaming down, and the batteries are charging back up, and away you go again. And I think that's the key, really, is you tend to think of these things as needing to be sun powered, and of course they do reap an enormous amount of efficiency from the sun. They don't have to run on it. There's so much battery capacity there, they can just run on that. And you've always got the generator, so even if, okay, you get up next morning, it's all a bit grey and there's not much power being put in, you run the generator for a couple of hours and you boost the batteries up that way. So you've got options. And that's really what gives this boat, I think, its range, is that way of thinking about it, that you don't have to be running when the sun's beating down. You just have to be using those batteries to their maximum efficiency and using the charging to its maximum efficiency. I think that's brilliant. I really do. Well, that pretty much concludes what must be the quietest sea trial we've ever had on Aquaholic. They call it the Silent 60, and I think that that is a boat that lives up to its name. Let me know what you think of it in the comments. A huge thanks to Silent Yachts for organising that sea trial. It's been really fascinating to see this boat underway. Huge thanks, of course, to you guys for watching. We'll catch you on one of these real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.